Hello. I am making a pitch here for you to consider joining the April book club of the Community for Joyful Resistance. So this is a book club that meets every now and then. The next one will be probably in July and August. And it is a chance for people from all over to come together. You can truly be anywhere in the world. It's on Zoom. And the first one that we did this winter was such a pleasure because there were people literally in their early 20s and people in their 70s, everything in between. There were folks from all over the country. And just to get to talk about a deep but pleasurable piece of work with folks who are new to you and who have really different life experience, I think for me, it just made me feel connected and feel hopeful, and we could all use that. So the book that is for April is Inciting Joy by Ross Gay. And I had the pleasure, such weird things, that like weird Zoom thing. Anyway, I had the pleasure of seeing Ross Gay talk last fall here in Iowa City, and he is such a presence. He is a tall guy. He was wearing just like an old kind of crappy t-shirt and a pair of army pants and had his backpack with him that he just kind of dropped at the ground by his feet. And when you hear Ross Gay talk, and it's really worth listening to audio of him read, you get such a strong sense of his cadence and how, even though his books lately have been about delight, the book of delight and the second one, and then this book on joy, they are much more complicated than that. This is not a man who is out there trying to look at easy, soft things by any chance. In fact, he's trying to look at some of the absolute hardest things. So I want to just read you a little bit from his first chapter. So these are all essays, and each one is an incitement. So inciting joy, and the incitements include death, the garden, time, skateboarding, laughter, losing your phone, which is the seventh incitement. I love that. The orchard, and pick up basketball, school, dancing, falling apart, and gratitude. And they can really each be read on their own. So we'll read roughly the first half for our first meeting, the second half for the second. And even if you just go really deeply into one essay, that's awesome. But let me just give you a sense of what he's talking about. This is from the very beginning. Given that joy is often imagined as the result of some accomplishment or acquisition, something nice you get out there and do, something nice you go get yourself. Joy, the thinking goes, is that room at the top of the flight of stairs that upon entering washes you with clean air and glad music and comfy furniture and gentle warmth emanating from white pine floors, suffused with light pouring in from the enormous windows with a sweet window seat where you can read a happy book. The joy room, the thinking goes, is snug with every good, nice, cozy thing. He goes on to say that our lives are often much more difficult than that. And he says, you get my point. It's a kid's fantasy to imagine any emotion discrete from any other. It strikes me as a particularly dangerous fantasy, by which I also mean it's sad, so goddamn sad, that because we often think of joy as meaning without pain or without sorrow, which, to reiterate, our consumer culture has us believing is a state of being that we could buy, not only is it something considered unserious or frivolous to talk about joy, but there's so much pain in the world, he quotes somebody as saying. But this definition also suggests that someone might be able to live without, or maybe a more accurate phrase is free of, heartbreak or sorrow, which I'm pretty sure you only get to do if you have no relationships, love nothing, are a sociopath, and maybe if you're enlightened. I don't know about you, but I don't check any of these boxes. But what happens if joy is not separate from pain? What if joy and pain are fundamentally tangled up with one another? Or even more to the point, what if joy is not only entangled with pain or suffering or sorrow, but is also what emerges from how we care for each other through those things? What if joy, instead of refuge or relief from heartbreak, is what effloresces from us as we help each other carry our heartbreaks? What if joy needs sorrow? I hope you'll join us. I would love your company.